Good morning on this very cold and rainy and windy morning. After having a mini summer in winter, we now have beautiful, beautiful rain. Oh, and I'm getting very wet. I thought I would show you our rain tanks and the water going into them. We had 40 mils overnight. It is so exciting. As I've explained to you before, we are in a drought, so every time we get rain, we throw like a mini party. Thank heavens the garage roof is now fixed. We will have to just go and double check on that though. We don't want any water going into the batteries and breaking them again. So yes, very cold here. I've got my rain jacket on, got my gumboots on, and I'm ready to show you what's been happening. Oh, look, everything is just going to sprout with this rain. So here's our rain gauge. Let's have a look. I did check earlier this morning. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if you can see 40 mils. That is incredible. And that was overnight. Blue doesn't really mind the rain. Tabitha, on the other hand, despises getting wet. You're going back inside, boy. So these first flushes will be full. And then water from the roof goes into the gutters and goes into through the leaf catcher, through the first flush, and that fills up. Here you'll see this goes underground. So the first flush fills up. When it gets to a certain point, then the water goes into the tanks, but it goes underground here. You can see where we dug this all up. And then through here into our tanks. Now these are all joined, our tanks are all joined. These are our smaller tanks. These are our 2,500 litres. They're not overflowing yet. They were pretty empty, so because we hadn't had rain for a while. Yeah, they're actually just about full. I don't know if you can hear. No, you can't hear the water going into them. So then those tanks, what actually often happens here is that the tanks overflow and this entire area becomes flooded. I thought I'd show you the water going from the gutter into the leaf catcher. Let's climb up. Okay, can you see the water going from the gutter into the leaf catcher? After viewing the footage, I can see that the leaf catcher needs a good clean, and as you can see, it's doing its job. All that stuff is not going into our tanks. Definitely an inside day. And it's always problematic wearing glasses in the rain. I need windscreen wipers. Yes, so while our tanks fill up and give us water back into the house again, which is going to be marvelous, I think we're going to be working inside today. Mixing the skimming plaster up, and hopefully we can do a final coat on this wall. Craig's put the light here. You can see where there's a few spots that need to be pulled up a bit. Do you think we'll be able to get away just with this coat? Are you just filling up the spots? Or are you doing a whole layer?
No, just filling up the holes.
Just filling up the holes. We'll be ready for painting and tiling. This windowsill isn't the easiest thing to do. So Craig's going to try it this way, and hopefully we can get a right angles. We do have a tool as such, but it might not work with the skimming plaster. So let's see. So as I said that, Craig decided to go get the tool and give it a try. So, I mean, it's quite difficult to get a round edge, because remember there were tiles that came up here. We still haven't decided if we're going to tile or just paint. I think we're going to skim and then paint and then see from there. But until that is done, we need to make sure everything's smooth and skim beautifully. There we are. I'm not quite sure what this tool is called, but you can actually get it in different sizes. We got quite a small one. Yeah, hopefully it works. I think it'll make life a lot easier. Might require a few layers though. I'll just stick a skimming plaster, although this is more skimming plaster than actual plaster. It shouldn't be so thick. Just read what it says. It says here, corner cove outside trowel. There we are, we have a name for the tool. One should really take everything away before one does this. Oh, I think it's going to be so awesome. Yes. How many layers of the skimming plaster have we actually done? Do you know? Can you remember? Well, this is about the 3rd or 4th layer. Yeah, look at that. Obviously needs sand. But it gives a really nice rounded edge. I don't know if you can see, but it actually just gives it quite a nice round edge. I know this looks a little bit more square than round. Greg's gonna have to go over it again. Looks like fun. It really gives a much rounder edge. Definitely gonna have to do a few more layers. We've neglected this specifically because it's at right angles and it's not the easiest thing to do. So it hasn't really had any layers, proper layers or sanding done yet. This weather, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. We haven't had rain like this in a very, very long time. See the water pouring from the gutter and it's all going into our tanks. I think we're going to be overflowing very soon. And there we go. The tanks are officially completely and utterly overflowing. Now my roof. Okay, so let's check. There doesn't seem to be any water coming down the walls, which is good. No wet spots on the wood on either side. So I think the sealant has definitely worked. And of course not much power coming in, although the battery is 33%, but in is very, very little. So yeah, but of course what's to be expected with this weather. But I'm very grateful that our leaking roof is completely fixed. Batteries are safe, although I think we'll continue to keep these pieces of wood just in case, because yeah, all good. Take a little drive to see what the sea looked like with this crazy, crazy weather, and it's quite crazy. Back from our drive, Craig is now sanding the skimming plaster. We had to go get some more skimming plaster as well, but it actually really looks really good. I think that Cornice tool, what was it again? Let's have a look. This one, Corner Cove Outside Trowel. Got nothing to do with cornices. Really did the trick. Let's have a look. So he's already started sanding, as you can see, and it's incredible. It's so nice how this tool has given this perfect round edge. So this is what happens when one forgets that you have switched on the tap to dump water into the pool. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It definitely wasn't me. And a lot more rain is predicted, so it will probably mean that the pool will overflow with the rain, but our tanks will fill up again. And here it comes. Come, boy. Blue. Come, my boy. It's raining. These two have far too much energy because of being locked up inside for most of the day. Hey, come on. Come on. So now that we've had a little bit of a break in the rain, the dogs are happy to be outside, especially Tabitha. And we dumped all that water into the swimming pool, so obviously the tanks are not overflowing. But what I wanted to do is explain this pipe that comes out of this tank and that tank. So it is a pipe that goes all the way into the tank, obviously, into the bottom. And when the tanks overflow, it creates a vacuum. So it actually cleans all the rubbish at the bottom of the tanks. It's very clever. We only have it on these two eco tanks, not on our bigger tanks. And yeah, so it's quite amazing. So one would think from the gutter and all the crap that goes into the tanks, even though we've got the leaf catchers and the first flushes, there is obviously still stuff that goes into the tanks, and we do have a filter system, but this really helps make all the rubbish that is at the bottom of our tanks get sucked up and come out. So we are grateful when the tanks do overflow, because it helps to clean them. And just like that, the sun has come out. It's still very breezy, as you can hear. Craig is emptying the first flush. The dogs are outside, they're much happier, and we are going to leave it at that for today. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Goodbye, and see you next time.